Before we get started today, I just wanted to give a heads up that even if you don't watch the full race, definitely tune in to the end of the video, as we do have details coming up on our Season 1, as well as opportunities in it aside from racing. So we'd appreciate if you just took a look at that if you are interested in this league at all. Otherwise, thank you, and enjoy the video of our final race for Season 0. Hello, and welcome back to the Desert Rat Racing League for our final race at Suzuka, aka Kansai and Automobilista 2. Once again today, I am joined by Shift E Racing Group member, and I will go ahead and let him introduce himself.
Hi, drivers. I'm Finesse, a co-founder of Shifty Racing, and I will be commentating today.
Thank you very much. And in the front, he unfortunately missed the last race due to not realizing what time it started, but we had our leader in the championship, Carlos, back in the front, followed by Fusing Star, as we saw having many good fights, both with yourself and a few other drivers on the track last race at Bathurst.
Oh, yes.
Darius in third, our winner from the last race, racking himself in a lot of points and getting ahead in this championship now that we had twice the amount of drivers that we've had for the other races. Followed by myself in fourth, followed by yourself in fifth, Finesse, followed by Shift Nike, Shift Bossolini, Shift Styles, Shift Get Me 240s, and our other founder of this series, Jolene, in the back. So we'll go ahead and get started, and I will let Finesse lead off the front of the race.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
And this is Carlos, you said?
Correct.
This guy is fast.
He is amazing at adapting to all the cars that we have available in this simulator. I've seen him hop into a lobby and set a fast lap on his first out lap, completely destroying the lobby and sit in those pits happily until the race started.
I mean, just look, he was, just for a second there, he was half a second up on everybody.
But Fusing Star is keeping it close behind, Fusing being a VR racer and able to maintain all of the perception he needs from all views of his car. And Darius, like we said, the winner from the last race, is not too far behind from the two, only about 2 seconds back, followed by myself. And you and Nike, Nike kind of scooching out there. That was unfortunate. We'll have to take a look at that later possibly, but like we said in the last race, we don't typically do penalties in this test season, but starting next season, things are likely to change on that when I do reviews. Ooh, but 40's getting taken out by what seemed to be, I think, Jolene? No, that was... Who was that?
Styles, it looks like. Yep. That was Styles, all the way in the back.
Darn, that was unfortunate. This is a very brutal race for the beginning. But we're going to let it play out and see what happens. Carlos maintaining now that short gap ahead from Fusing, but he is flying behind him.
Oh yeah, these guys know this track like the back of their hands. They are on it.
And like we see, Darius is not too far behind with myself towing behind him. We're going to see what we can do to catch up to the two leaders, but for now it is battle for third between us.
You guys just got to keep it consistent, and you guys can get up there.
Exactly. Nike's off by himself, but we'll see if he can catch up to the two of us and maybe get that draft in. 40 seeming to recover from that incident early on. Keeping himself in a solid 6, he can definitely catch up and get further up in this race later on.
Now, Nike does have a way of surprising you. If you give him the chance, Nike will surprise you.
All of you are really close in the back here fighting for that 7th, but you are not giving it up here as we enter the chicane. And that's going to be lap 1. We saw a lot of chaos, but hopefully the rest of the race we see things go smoothly. Go ahead and catch up to Carlos again, keeping a solid lead. And as we've seen throughout these, go ahead.
My apologies. I'm driving very aggressively right now. I have a tendency to do that when I come off track. If I come off track, when I end up back on track, I drive like a madman.
And I totally get it. Once I've had a mistake like that where it's not entirely my fault, but it's not fortunate for me, I definitely am going to be putting that pedal down and doing what I can to catch up. And I'm not going to be letting people pass me if I've already been pushed back enough.
Exactly.
And Darius makes his way up into second. We'll see what Carlos can do to stay ahead, though. He does have a solid 3-second gap into lap 2.
Making use of every single inch of track there. Darius is flying through that corner.
Ooh, looks like fusing went off just a
Oh,
little bit as he
man,
slows out of that.
I was not expecting that.
And you are right on 40s, not keeping more than half a second between the two of you.
Did I manage to catch 40s? Okay.
You have a nice use of the trail braking and curving it into the turn. And you're now right on his tail. You might be able to make an attack soon.
I will say, we ran a series after this. It was 3 races in this car, and I really like the car now. This series was Shift's first introduction to the car. We've never driven this car before, and it handles very well. For it to be a front-wheel drive vehicle, you'd be very surprised how well this thing gets down.
That small wheelbase allows it to really abuse trail braking without abusing the tires as well, which gives it really nice swift movements in those sharp turns that you wouldn't expect.
Oh yeah, braking is so key in these cars. Braking is so
And of course, yeah, definitely. And of course, with them being so light as well, even though they are the JCW models, that powerful braking mixed with the downforce of the spoiler, it is a very well balanced car that is very hard to take yourself out, aside from maybe losing grip off of the track. But thankfully, with a track like this, we're not going to be seeing too much of that.
Oh no, this is a beautiful day. Perfect track conditions, pretty much. With the exception of pesky cars that just won't get out of the way here. 40 is holding it down. I have already backed up off of him once. Ooh, we
Looks
lost.
like Fusing took himself out.
Oh,
that was unfortunate.
Man.
But as you were saying, you are on the attack. We're going to go ahead and see what you can do here in this next section.
40s has a way of doing the good old park it on the apex.
As long as you're tapping the brakes in these cars just for movement, we try to see that as fair. But if we see too much of the brake checking in corners, we'll be checking that in Season 1 for sure. And that will be allowing the races. Ooh!
Oh.
Looks like 40s catches himself off like I said earlier. You can't touch the dirt in the turns like that. You will spin out with those front tires touching first.
Man.
You have to be going straight off the track if you're going to go off track.
How he managed to end up back in the race that quickly is actually incredible.
But what's incredible as well is Nike is now making the attack on you, and 40 still isn't too far behind, followed by Styles as well, and Fusing is making his catch-up from that mistake into turn 1.
Oh, Nike was in front of me. I think Nike must have made a mistake or something there.
I believe he did earlier on, maybe in lap 2 or 3, as I kind of did notice something off, but I wasn't quite sure. But his car's undamaged, so it's likely just to slide off the track, possibly.
Nike is in a position here to drive very aggressively. This is probably a good thing to watch here. Let's see what this...
We'll go ahead and get those track positions up there on for you. And as you can see, Carlos is maintaining a solid 6-second gap as he enters back onto his next lap, followed by Darius and myself, but I am chasing after Darius currently. We know he's a strong racer as he led Bathurst the same way Carlos is now here at Kansai.
Nike is starting to slowly close that gap. Very, very determined driver. Very, very determined racer.
To see how close he can get from his own view.
Oh, this is an interesting shot right here. It's beautiful. We can see this. Oh, he's getting to peep some of my braking action here.
But he does a good job himself entering tightly on that apex. Ooh, just a little too early on the gas, straightening himself off the track. But he is making the attack here. He does very well to put that pressure on you, but you maintain a good defensive line. But he respects it. He knows that he hasn't had the opportunity to pass just yet. He may be able to do it here, though. We'll see if he goes wide.
I will maintain that inside line. If he can
but
stick
he
it,
squeezes you in. Ooh, it's so close.
Oh, man.
Only inches apart from each other now. That is insane what we're seeing.
This is what we're looking for right here. This is
Good
what we're
use
looking
of the
for.
full track length into the next section with those tight turns.
Very, very good driving.
And we got a good pack
Look
behind
at
as
this
well.
pack. These
This
guys are
is
flying.
amazing.
These guys have not
All
given
right.
up. They're fighting for their positions.
40s wants those back.
Oh,
Oh, Styles
no.
spinning himself out. I'm not too sure if that was network or if he just lost traction somehow. But honestly, I think that was network, unfortunately. I didn't see contact from either car in the front or back.
No, it didn't look like contact. No foul play. He probably just pulled a Z-brake.
Oh, that could be true as well. Some people try to do that out of curiosity or fear. And Darius, while not quite up to Carlos, is definitely gapping me and the rest of the crew. I'm doing somewhat of the same with my own gap to you, while Nike is still attacking and 40 is getting close to the pack as well with his group of people.
Oh man, Fusing is still in this race.
If
Fusing
they
had a
work together, they
catastrophic
can make
moment.
this. Yeah, if they keep this together and work together, they can catch up to you and make this a really close race for fourth as we see it. You enter that chicane nicely, though, using what you need of the track with that front wheel drive and getting back on early into the curb. Here we go back into the straight. Let's see what Nike gets to do. Will he be aggressive with his braking, or will he keep it clean?
By this point, I am fairly settled into the car. I've had some fighting with Nike. This is definitely a good point in the race for some pressure. You know, definitely a good point. So we'll see how.
Oh, and there's pressure for Nike himself going off track, keeping up his speed, it looks like. May have been a track warning, we can't tell yet. Only if he goes over the limit, which we currently have set to 1 or 2 in these races, but I believe it is 2. So if you do it 3 times total, that is when you take a 21-second penalty typically.
And that is distributed automatically. We do not have to go back and run a tape. That we will see that on the times.
Thankfully so, but with season 1 coming up, we will be glad to have anybody who does want to be a race director or broadcaster using the built-in features. We'd love to have it done if anybody's interested, so feel free to message on the comments.
Oh, 40s is doing what he can right now. He is doing
Yeah,
what he
he's putting the
can.
pressure. But to be fair, Fusing's not too far behind. And like we said, if they work together,
They're
40
alongside each
squeezes him
other
in. But he tucks back in, getting his position, not losing out to Fusing quite yet. That is close racing for that 5th place position.
This is some good driving right here.
But you're getting your gap as well while they try to fight it out. This is definitely your situation to take advantage of too.
I'm just going to
Let's go ahead and take a look at the back. Oh, Fusing overtook 40s.
40s. Come on now.
Now we see we only have maybe less than 5 minutes left in the race, so we'll go ahead and close that for now. Oh, it looks like somehow Pasolini retires, it looks like. May have just been a glitch in the system on the track. Yes, he has retired from the race. Let's go head back to that action, though.
A little
Looks like
wide
Nike's
on
not
that
too
chicane.
far behind. Oh, but here comes 40s. Oh! Back to back with these two.
These guys are close, man. They've been close for the past 3 to 4 minutes. This is some
Fusing
good
made his
driving.
mistake early, and he does not want to make any more. He wants those positions now. And he has the inside. That's good for him. 40s has to back out if he wants to enter cleanly.
He's going to maintain his speed. We'll see if he'll be able to keep up after this turn.
Beautiful racing, though, from these three. They're keeping it nice and close, and you as well, like making that gap. You're keeping at least 2 seconds for most of it.
We'll see if I'll be able to hold it. How much longer do we have in this race? You said about 5 minutes.
It is not too long. We know the timer runs past the cooldown lap, so at this point we're probably seeing less than
3 minutes, probably.
3.5 minutes to maybe 4 minutes, depending on when Carlos finishes the lap.
Ooh. Yeah, the tires.
And as we can see as well, Carlos
are
is flying as he enters into the last sector here shortly. But Darius and myself are about to begin having our own battle if I can keep it up. We'll come back to that if we can. You are also, once again, leading that pack but not giving him a chance as they fight each other. 40's falling behind just a little bit, but not too far back to make any brutal mistakes. Ooh, what was happening there with Styles? Maybe it looked a little slidey there. I'm not too sure. Could be that network, though, as we were seeing earlier in the race when he suddenly spun out. Nike's not giving up that front, though. We did see 40's and Fusing fight for it, but Nike hasn't lost his position yet.
40's has withdrawn from this fight, it looks like.
Yeah, he doesn't have quite a chance yet, but as those two fight, it can easily let him catch up. Nike's not too far behind you now, though. He's getting closer and closer within a second. As long as you keep it clean, though, he may not have an opportunity to attack before the end of the race, as he still has to deal with Fusing as well. Here we go back into the straight. We see me and Darius fighting up there, but there's still about a 2-second gap, so we'll keep it over here as Nike, Finesse, and Fusing are fighting it out. Although I should take away Finesse from that, he has gapped away in this straight for a moment, as these two have to fight in the corner.
Fusing doing everything he can for that position. That was a beautiful overtake.
And that makes Nike finally have to give up that opportunity of saying, I haven't been passed yet in this fight. But you as well, you can still say that. Although Fusing has made the gap so small, that is insane. And he is not showing like he's going to give up that pressure anytime soon.
I will have to defend for this. I will have to
100%. And you are, though. You're not quite giving him the opportunity. You're making the most if you can, as those defensive lines. Oh, contacted. We're all off over here in this. Oh, no.
Oh, man.
That was carnage, but 40's takes opportunity, despite him also going off track for a second, to overtake all of you from the back,
40's.
Followed by Nike, followed by you, and Fusing not, unfortunately, making it all go away for himself. That was an unfortunate situation. And here we have Carlos coming again to that last sector here shortly. And I have made that gap not too close to Darius. He is leading it by a far, despite this camera angle looking otherwise. Here we go back to 40's, though. He's getting attacked by Nike, but you're not too far behind with Fusing.
40's is going to try his hardest right now to hold this down. I can already sense it. We're going to get some good driving out of these two right here.
100%. It looks like this may be the last lap based on the timer, because I don't believe there's enough time for Carlos to make another lap from what we're seeing. So, as we enter this, we do see Carlos in first. We're going to have to pull away for a moment just to see the fight between us two for second. We'll keep an eye on that scoreboard, though, just to see if any names get swapped around back there. But it looks like Darius has pulled away, so we will see Darius in second, me in third.
Here we go. And 40's are back and forth here. This is immaculate
40's with the better line, though, as he pulls away into the last turn. You're not too far behind, though. If you can get it just right, who knows? But I believe that is going to settle it with 40's getting that 4 in his name, in his position, followed by Nike, followed by you, followed by Fusing. And here we have Styles coming behind. And Jolene will be our 9th place because, as we saw, Bossolini unfortunately retired. So with that, that was an amazing race. What would you like to say about that, Finesse?
That's some good driving, some crazy driving. We had a lot of action that race, whether it was off-roading activities or it was some seriously bumper to fender driving. Hard.
Yeah, definitely. After that carnage at the beginning, there was definitely a lot more cleaner, more powerful racing, and that was amazing to see.
Oh, yeah. Very, very much so. Very much so.
We want to give a big congratulations to Carlos, as although he did miss that last race before this, it did unfortunately put him in second place. But in my eyes, I know if he was in that first race or that last race, he would have been the championship of this season. But with how it turned out, I ended up taking the championship, followed by Carlos, and then with a surprising turn up in only the last 2 races, but as we discussed, more points with these double amount of racers, Darius managed to pull into 3rd runner-up in the championship. So they have all done a wonderful job, as well as the other members of Shift E-Racing and our other racers of Desert Rat Racing. And I'll once again hand it off to you, Finesse, to just say any final words, or if you're excited for season one, plan to participate or not.
Absolutely. Honestly, it's been a blast participating. The organization is there, and if we can continue to get some more of this intense racing action going on, that's what matters, and that's what we're looking for.
For sure. And as we've seen in public lobbies as well, these things can build up fast. People like driving them and they stick around to drive them. And with our league, we do have plenty of practice races all month where we just hop into an open lobby, try to find new members that are racing at similar levels to our racers. And then at that point, we go ahead and do a league once a month with 2 races, possibly 3 if people demand it. And when I say racers of similar level, that doesn't mean we are a high skill ceiling either. We accept racers of all speeds because we want to see racing between all parts of the pack, like we saw in this race. This was an awesome example of seeing fights in different parts of the track. That's what we want to see from every race. That's what we want to see on TV, and that's what we want to see in this league. So that's what I'm hoping to build as we enter our true season one with this season zero coming to an end. And yeah, that's what we hope to do. And I hope you are either interested to watch, join, or maybe even, like I said, commentate or be a race director where you get to manage penalties. Um, that would be awesome. And once again, I'll thank Finesse and let him sign off for this video as he's done a wonderful job helping me out with commentating these last 2 races. And we may see him in the future as if we don't have live broadcasters, we'll do these recordings as we've done and get to see more people join in and out of the broadcasting because it's cool to have the racers doing it as well when they get a chance.
Yes,
So yeah,
sir.
go ahead and take it away, Finesse.
Yes, sir. It's been a pleasure. This is what it's all about, community coming together and making this stuff happen. So you've done a fantastic job. You should congratulate yourself for making this happen. So, I look forward to the next one. Let's get it on.
Uh, thank you so much, man. And yes, thank you all for watching and hope to see you next time.